If you're watching this video, it's because you've asked the question, why are there so many healthy looking kids going and seeing the chiropractor, right? Why parents take healthy kids to see a chiropractor? And it's not because of little neck pains and little back pains. So this video is specifically for you. So when you were a new patient, when you first came in, we sat down and we were getting a history from you. We asked you a question, when was the first time you ever had pain like this? And you thought back, man, it's been at least a week, week and a half. And our follow-up question was, when was the first time you ever felt any pain like this whatsoever? And you went back, you did a little time machine, you went back, you went, holy smokes, that was in 5th grade. I was 10 years old when I first felt it. So you got to understand that pain is a poor indicator, right? That tissues had to break down for years and years before we have the first symptom of pain. When you came back on your second visit, we went over your x-rays, we went over your findings, and we shared with you on your x-ray likely the area where the problem began. And when we went over that x-ray, we looked at that x-ray and went, man, that was 3 decades ago. And you likely said, goodness gracious, I'm only 3 decades old plus some change. And here we are now. We're working on you. We're got you under corrective care, trying to patch and fix things that we can. This is a reactive approach, right? This is reacting decades into the problem. So a proactive approach is what parents do in our clinic, and they bring their children in the first 72 hours after birth. And they continue to get these children, babies, checked to avoid future suffering. Adjusting kids proactively, in my opinion, is one of the biggest things we can do to help our children, because we're helping the nerve signals. We're helping the messages going from our children's brain down and out into their organs, to their cells, to their tissues. And with good signals, all those cells, tissues, and organs can send signals back up and to the brain. So there's this beautiful communication going on. I think of when someone has a subluxation, right? When that top bone, the atlas, is out of alignment from childbirth. Remember, childbirth is traumatic, not only to mom, but also to baby. Whether it's vaginal, cesarean, there's someone pulling on the head. Some science shows upwards of 32% of all babies born in America have soft tissue damage to their neck. So imagine if we would have checked that atlas right after birth and cleared the signals. So now our young adult, our teenager, can sit down and do homework, and their nervous system would be like a symphony playing. Every instrument doing their job in accordance with one another into this harmonic, beautiful melody. That's what we want our children having. When you've got a subluxation and it goes unchecked, unlikely to have any symptoms, but it's a lot like having some loud AC/DC rock music in the background. Now, I love me some good classic rock, hard rock, but I wouldn't want that in the background while I was studying. Folks, you have the opportunity to do one thing right now, and I'm going to encourage you to take action. Get your kids in here, get them checked, be proactive in their health, take a stand. I was just talking with a mother yesterday. She was so thankful. All 5 of her kids are here weekly. And she shared with me, Dr. 𝗀𝗄𝗄, we'll never know how many antibiotics we avoided by having Avery checked once a week. We'll never know how many sick days avoided by having her checked at the chiropractor weekly. We'll never know how many ear infections we avoided. And then she responded, you know what? Who cares, right? Who cares? We'll never know. Give your child the opportunity for health and wellness. Be proactive. Let's see if we can help.